Discussion of CSS by covering Cascade Order. When using CSS, it's important to understand Cascade Order, especially when you're trying to identify errors in your styling. Different orders take different priority and can override styling definitions. So let's go ahead and look at the different types. So we have Cascade. I'll go ahead and click on my window here. Cascading style sheets, cascade order. So what is our cascade order? First of all, you have an inline. Now an inline definition really styles one of your attributes inside of the HTML tag. So we use the style tag to do that, and so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go bracket p style. So we use our paragraph tag and say style equals quote, and then we can define something like color. So again, just like the syntax that we talked about before, color colon number sign. Let's do a different color. I don't know, 996633, and so we can define that color, we can end that, and so anything inside of that P tag now, so anything in the sentence will have that color. So you can use that as that's how you create an inline. The next type of order we want to look at is an internal. An internal style sheet is actually located when we build out an HTML document. If you remember, we go bracket exclamation point doc type HTML head. Well, we can do a number of things, but inside the head of this, we just going to add a few more things. Inside the head of our document, we can actually define our style sheets right here. So we can say bracket style type equals quote text slash CSS quote bracket. And what that does is it allows us to then run a number of different styles right here. So we could set the style for our whole body. So we could go body, curly brace, font dash family, colon, Verdana, semicolon, space font size, colon 12px, semicolon, space, color, and we could do something like black, semicolon, curly brace, and then we close it out with slash style. And that's how you do, and we could do a number of them. If we wanted to do more than body, we could also set an H1 curly brace, and we could say font size colon 18 px semicolon curly brace. And so, and then obviously we're going to have to close out our head. Add the body, maybe put some things inside the body, slash body slash HTML. And so in an internal environment, when you're doing an internal style sheet, basically your style sheets are contained right inside of the head element of your document. The next one that we want to talk about is an external style sheet, and we call that a little bit different. So external. Now an external style sheet is also going to be, it's basically a link to a file that's a style sheet. So we're going to create a link inside of our head document. So it's going to be a lot like the internal. I can go ahead and copy this out and paste this, and I'm just going to show you the difference between the two. So inside the head, where we have those things happening, I'm going to type a link to a document. So link space rel equals quote style sheet type equals text slash CSS quote space href equals, and we'll just call this style.css. And so inside of the head, basically what you're doing is you're saying we're going to link to a document that's style.css, and inside of that document you could put a number of different styles. And so the style.css document would look like this. You'd have a body or an H1 and many other styles to go along with that. So once you make a link to that and save it, then you can create that file and bring it up that way. And that's primarily how you do those. Now the final cascading order is at the browser level. And at the browser level, what happens is basically the default styles that are set in the browser. So what you get without changing any styles or doing anything else. And so that's kind of your cascade order. And really, the order is just like we talked about. An inline cascading style element will override an internal. An internal will override an external. And an external will override the browser. So that's kind of your cascade order. So anytime you have inline, it's gonna be the one that shows up. The funny thing about that is that the inline kind of really loses all your advantages of what you gain by using a style sheet, because you have to go in and change lots and lots of tags. When you link all of your styles through one style sheet, it kind of acts as the style sheet for the whole website, and that's, much of what I do is done in the external style sheet. Almost everything I do is done that way. Every once in a while I'll have an occasion where I need to override something either internally or inline, but primarily all the work that you'll do, almost all the work you'll do is in these. These are handy though for internal style sheets are handy for educational things, but the external ones is what you'll spend most of your time doing.